To have a successful experience with the transcription tool, there's just some things that I want to go over with you that will help you. First of all, we're going to talk about the import types, and you can import video. We've discovered that the importation from YouTube is a lot faster than importing off of your hard drive. Seems like that would be backwards, but it's not. Actually, the hosted videos import faster. So if you have a big job or you have a big file, it might be better for you to host that on YouTube, put it on a private channel, delete it after you get done, whatever it is that you need to do. But usually hosting them on YouTube is a little bit better experience for you. We can import both MP4 and MOV files. Under audio, MP3 files are preferable. WAV files are huge, and there's a way to compress those, and I did a video just on how to compress those WAV files into MP3 files so that you don't end up with a whole bunch of other extra stuff inside the audio that will not benefit your transcription experience. I mean, these WAV files are almost 10 times larger than the MP3. It doesn't impact your minutes or whatsoever. It doesn't make any changes there. It just makes a big difference in how long it takes you to upload. So you might keep that in mind. I'm going to show you how to use the draft editor to create a revision history, and I think that's going to be important for you. Later on down the road, you can discover, hey, I may want to go back and take a look at this and pick up something a little different or use a little different screenshot or whatever, but you can create a revision history by using the draft editor, okay? And then finally, I'm going to talk about formatting for output. So those are the things I want to cover in this next video that will help you to be successful using the transcription tool. When you have uploaded a transcription job, you will find that job right under drafts. And so we'll pick up with the one that we had started out here. And here you'll find I've uploaded this from YouTube. It's kind of a brief video, but right here I can change the name. And the first thing I want to do is change the name because that YouTube video link isn't going to make any sense to me. This is actually about publishing on Kindle. And there are 3 parts to that, so I'm going to call that part 1. Now I've renamed that. That's the very first touch of that particular transcription job. So now let's open up the Transcriber and we'll take a look at this. You notice it's a short video. And so I'm not going to go through how to do all of these steps, but I want to show you a couple of things that you don't want to forget here. I'm going to begin to play. I'm going to begin to play right here. This is going to be a multi-number of videos here, but we're going to begin with, and I'm going to stop a document that I have created as soon as we get to this document right here, okay? I'm going to take this, it's got a cover on it. I'm going to begin with this. I'm going to insert the image from here, all right? That will be my first image to go into the document. Now, I want to introduce you to these tools right here. We have 4 tools that are right here that are also covered. Some of them are covered right here. You'll notice this clear the section is here, and also inserting the image is here. But there's 2 other things, and both of those things might be very helpful to you. The first thing I want to show you is this text tool right here. So when I download the text, what that does is it opens up, it gives me a text format file right here. Let me pick that up and so I can show it to you. So I actually have that in a text document, a TXT document, that I can pull a portion of this out and use someplace else. I can use that in a sales letter. I can use it in a variety of ways that might be helpful to me. But I can capture that right here using that download text tool. Some of you may find that extremely helpful. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that I can save from right here. The save button is also down here, but I can save it right here as well. So when I click that save button, watch what happens. It says audio draft was saved successfully. So I can go back up here to my draft mode. All right, I'm going to show you what happens with this. All right, this says new project right here. If I rename that revision 1. Now, what I've done is I have saved So I can open up the transcriber tool right here. I've saved it in the transcription with the edit that I just made. Really important that you know how to do that so you can save those revisions. Notice this is different than the original that I have right here, which does not contain the edits. All right? That way you can keep a revision history. And a revision history is going to be very helpful to you, particularly, I'm going to grab this right here, and I'm going to make that timestamp so it'll move it to the top of the document. That revision history is going to be important to you when you find yourself, okay, what did I do last or whatever? Make sure that you save this frequently. If I save it another time, watch what happens now. I can save that another time. I'm going to go up here and go to my drafts. And now I have revision 1 and I have new project. This new project contains my previous edit that I just made right here. Okay? So I can keep various revisions of that transcription, and that's going to really help, particularly if you've got a document where you want to do multiple things with it, and there's different kinds of stuff you want to save or you want to preserve. You want to grab certain pieces of that and do other things with it. But that's going to be helpful to you, that revision tool. Don't forget to do that, and feel free to do it frequently, okay? Because it's going to take all of those and put it right inside of here. Now, the next thing that I want to do is I want to talk to you about making sure that you save that format for output. I've now taken the my document that I had saved over here. I have 2 versions. I have this, which I wanted to be able to, the reason why I do this in the draft editor is because I wanted to be able to add this as an H2 tag. All right, so it's easier to deal with my containers inside of here. I wanted to make this a list instead of having it as a timestamp. So these are actually my timestamps. I removed the timestamp from the front of that and turned that into an unordered list. Took this container, I added this headline because I wanted to give some direction as we go into the document. And then everything else is pretty basic. Didn't do much else except I did a little bit of tiny bit of formatting inside of here where I added the italics and the bold inside of that document because just some things that I think people need to understand. So I highlighted those things to make sure that that was clear. Now, having done that, I'm going to save that draft. And now, I'll show you what happens here when we're looking for output, okay? I'm going to take that same document and I'm going to look to see what it looks like. I'm going to look to see what it looks like in a 2-column format. I'm going to pick a 2-column format here, and I'm going to do this. I'll call that project 11 because I just want to find out what this is going to look like in a 2-column format. Scroll down here, there's my highlights, there's my heading, that's my text. Is this going to look better in a 2-column format or a single column format? And it may be that you find one that looks really good for you when you're doing your transcription projects. For me, this long flowing text here looks a little bit better. And we can split that paragraph out. Looks a little better. We tend to talk and run on sentences and long paragraphs. So you can go back and split these up if you want to do that. Make it look a little bit cleaner and neater when you do that. All right, but that looks pretty good in a 2-column format. So I'm going to save that. And I'm going to exit. And I'm going to go back to my draft tool. And I'm going to pull this file back up. Okay. That's still that same file. I'm not going to do anything different to it. But this time I'm going to see what it looks like in a single column format. All right, this would be standard. We'll take the same template here. So we're comparing apples to apples. And when I look at that, now I can make a decision. Which of these two does it look better? Does it look better like this, or does it look better in the single column or the two column format? So I have a decision I can make now, but I have the ability to be able to do both of those because I saved it in the draft mode and I brought the draft mode in and worked with it from there. Okay, so hopefully that'll help you get your feet on the ground with this transcription tool and you'll be off and running.